you have to start realizing that you don't know everything. You don't know all the knowledge. You don't know everything that takes place in the world. You truly don't know nothing but besides sometimes what's going on inside your little town. All right. A lot of people they feel like they're stuck. They know everything about a certain subject. Like some people like personal finance. I know a guy who feels strongly about it. He feels as if he knows everything about the subject and there's really not much more for him to learn from there. You learn the common investing, you learn how to build credit, but you really don't go deep inside of how these things work and who controls it all and how like the little processes map out every single part. You feel like you know a subject, you know all of it, but even then, why do you feel like there's nothing else for you to learn? There's always something else for you to learn. Finance, all right, go learn computer programming. Computer programming, go learn how to run a business. There's multiple things that like you can keep going. There's never a point in life where you have to feel like there's nothing you can't learn. The world is huge. I doubt you or I will ever travel the entire world, but that's how you know there's always so much to learn. Like you don't know the history of every single culture, but you can go learn. You can pick up new interests every day. There's no reason to feel bored when you could be learning something new or you could be doing something new. I really want to like impress the fact on you guys that you should never feel stuck. You should never feel like, "Oh, I can't do anything. There's nothing else for me to do. There's nothing else for me to learn." Like some people they get out of high school, they feel like I completed high school. I don't got nothing else to learn. There's nothing else to do. I don't have to self educate myself on certain subjects. High school taught me all I needed to know. Let me just go work now. That's something that I don't like. And you shouldn't either, because why do you feel like, you learned all the topics in the world? There's so much out there that you don't know yet. And, all right, my question for you guys is what do you wish you would know? Because I guarantee you, right now we have the resources to teach you it. There's free courses online you can just search up with a couple words. And there's also AI that can teach you any kind of subject that you don't know. Um, First, if you want to find out like what you want to learn, think about stuff that you did as a child that you never quite, let's say, learned a lot about how to do. Like some people wanted to learn how to fly a plane. It's actually possible to still go out there and do it unless you're like 60 years old. You can just look up online nearest flying classes near me and explore that interest. Sure, it may be expensive or a little pricey, but there's still always that opportunity to go out there and do it. If you can't fly a plane, you can learn how the plane works, how it's built, and if you can't do that, there's always something else. You can learn the aerodynamics or whatever it's called, the engineering parts. Like that's the thing about this generation now. We don't have to go to school for everything, and we can really teach ourselves any subject that we really want us to. Like people are learning AI machine learning, like how to prompt, how AI is built, how to learn the linear algebra, the different kinds of maps that come into place. And they can do that all from home. They don't have to pay 100 grand a year to go to like the best institution you can. Instead you can just learn it on off your phone actually. You don't even have to have a computer. That's how simple it is. You can learn everything off your phone or off a laptop if you have one. But the point is that, there's always something more to learn. Like I pick up a different couple books each month, like ultra learning, storytelling with data presentations. There's deep things that go into every like subject or little niche in the world. Like copywriting. When you're writing copy, you're probably trying to write a script down for a video, or you're just writing copy down for a business, or how you want to market to your clients. There's books on that. There's a lot you probably don't know. Like I understand when like you do a topic enough that you feel as if you know everything. For example, with me, last year I was doing ecom, right? And during that period of time when I'm getting a lot of money, I start feeling like I already know what to do. I already know how to set it up. I already know everything. There's not really much else for me to learn. I have to go into a new subject. But that's not the case. There's little tips and tricks and actually learning how deep the algorithm goes. A lot of this stuff, when we feel like we know everything, we're really just touching the surface level. We're not really going deep inside and learning how this stuff actually works. Like presenting, I had a presentation for my senior class, right? And I go to my internship. He gives us an entire book on presenting. Like, I didn't even think it was like that much to it. I didn't think it was that serious that people actually need a book on how to present and how to do these things. But no, I picked up this book thinking I knew everything about how to presentate. I mean, sure, there was some things like I was already doing unconsciously, like without having to read this book, but there's a lot that goes into it. Like it teaches you how to present to shareholders, how to get investors, and all different types of stuff. And that book was by Cole. Let me see, Cole Nussenbummer, I believe that's how you say it. But there's a lot of different stuff you could be learning. Now, if you want to begin a subject, for example, one of the things I'm studying right now, trying to teach myself is cybersecurity. For that subject, you would there's a different paths you could take. You could either get a certification, you can take a course to get that, which what I'm currently doing with Google. And on the side of that, I'll also use Notebook LM to study, and I use Gemini. Now, what these platform does, the course is on Coursera. Oh my, that's a like, people do not use that like place enough. It's $39 a month, right? But you have access to so many different courses. Like there's MIT courses on here that you get inside of the $29 subscription. Google courses, different kind of certifications. There's a whole bunch of different things you could be doing and learning. You could even be learning philosophy if you really want to get into that. But that's what people fail to understand. There's a lot of stuff that you could be learning. Just because you don't need it at the moment doesn't mean you won't need it in the future and isn't something that's not good to know. Like just because you feel like you're struggling doesn't mean you shouldn't learn how philosophy and the mind works. Because if you're struggling in philosophy and learning how like mental models and things like that work will really help you out. So besides that, let me see. Notebook LM, you can kind of like you can add the sources you want the AI to use. You add the sources in there, and you can ask any question to the AI about that source, or you can create your own quizzes, flashcards, and reports. It'll do it all for you based off the sources that you provided to them. And then when you're stuck on a concept, there's you can use Gemini to explain it. Now, Gemini is free. You get a lot of uses, and it actually teaches very well. Like there's different modes you can select, like the education. It'll really explain to you how to do things, and you can like for me when I have it explain stuff, I have it always say it in like a work related way or like a real world example, not just something that I'm probably never going to use. I actually have it tell me what it's going to actually be done and actually have to be used while on the job instead of focusing my time on trying to learn everything. But yeah, the point is of this video is you don't know everything. Continue to go out there and learn and actually try to do something new. Like if you know, like I said in the beginning, if you know finance, then go learn computer programming. If you know computer programming, go learn copywriting. If you know copywriting, go learn how to present. And if you know copywriting, go learn how to start a business. There's always another path you can go on to keep learning and keep exploring new things. You don't know everything.